Welcome, everyone. It's so good to see you here. Thanks for coming. You know, this is a perfectly tremendous surprise. I learned about the party first from the news ticker an hour and a half ago. And the news ticker said something else. It said that neighbors and boosters from the Roosevelt Home Club planned a torchlight parade to the Hyde Park house shortly before midnight. And you could have knocked me over with a feather. And then the report went on to say, of course it was probably written by a kid. Well, it said that this has been a regular custom on election night since the chief executive entered the field of national politics. And it seems to me that I, and most of us, go back further than that. We go back first to the campaign of 1928 and 1930. And then a few old graybeards, like myself, well, we go back to 1912 and 1910. But I think that except for a very few people in Hyde Park, I go back even further than that. I claim to remember it, but the family say that I do not. And that was the first election of Grover Cleveland in 1884. I was 1.5 years old at the time, and I remember the torchlight parade that came down here that night. As they say, believe it or not. Well, this youngster here, this is Franklin Jr., he was just saying to me that he wondered whether Franklin III, who was up there in that room asleep, will also remember tonight. You see, he is also 1.5 years old. Now, we haven't got the full returns yet, but because we haven't heard anything from California or Oregon or Washington. However, it looks all right. And one of the things that makes me very happy about this thing is the fact that we have won a great victory in the 3 counties of Putnam, Dutchess, and Orange. Because even though our present congressman has been elected by a very small majority, the victory of Mr. Stehome is just as big nevertheless. We are all proud of the splendid fight that he has made. Now, I don't need to tell you that we face difficult days in this country, but I think you will find me in the future just exactly the same Franklin Roosevelt that you have known for a great many years. My heart has always been here. It always will. And by Jove, you know, someday when Elmer von Wagner, our county supervisor, gets tired of running for that position, oh, I don't know, say 10 or 20 years, I might take a shot at the job myself. It has been fine to see you. Thanks ever so much, and I'm going to be back here, as you know, just as much as the government of the United States will let me. Thanks very much.